allow me a couple minutes of your time to go crazy really fast, because I keep hearing about how we need diversity here and how we need diversity there. We need diversity in the bathrooms. We need diversity in the movie theaters. We need diversity in cooking. We need diversity in sales tax. We need diversity in our sex life. Can we please get some diversity of thought going on in the room? Because I've been doing this YouTube thing for a couple years now, and I would always get a few people who will look at me and say I'm tap dancing for the white guy. They'll look at me and say that I'm cooning out for the white people. They'll look at me and say that I'm not really black. They'll look at me criticizing black people doing stupid things and saying, why are you criticizing our brothers like this? And that type of mindset instills in me that many people really do live in this bubble of just obscurity, insecurity, and complete stupidity. Because how are you so confident to say all of these defenses for people clearly doing something wrong and somehow still want to cape for them while shaming me for saying, hey buddy, what you're doing, the same thing that a white person does, is stupid, and you deserve to be publicly shamed and criticized just like a white person would. I don't understand these levels of stupidity that people want me to join on, and I'll never understand it. But you might remember a couple months ago that there was this mayor that was using funds for campaigns and using the funds for all these luxurious things that you would think would be better off being used for the community, but was instead used for her luxury. And it was completely funny when a reporter asked her about it, and she had this really funny, stupid, stuck look on her face because she couldn't believe she was being asked all these things.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions? All right, any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have?
Well, she responded to her critics recently, and yes, it's the dumbest shit you could hear from somebody who is in a leadership role being criticized by her community for what the fuck she's doing with their money.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks. Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed, and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dalton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront? So not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dalton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style.
How are we actually going to get better as a society if these are the people who are leading us? A person so dedicated to proving that she is above all that when responding to criticism, she lets you know that you're all black. How dare you do this? How dare you sit here and criticize me? I'm sorry, just because you black don't mean you're above criticism. Everybody's shit stinks. Everybody has a story told by somebody else about how much of a piece of shit that they were to somebody. It is impossible to exist on this earth and not have somebody have a story about you about how you're a colossal fuck up. It's a little bit different when you are a mayor being exposed for using funds for luxury and thinking nobody's supposed to criticize you. And you know what's so funny is that it's so targeted towards the black individuals that it makes me think that if a group of white people were to have these same criticisms for the exact same mayor, I really would bet it all that we would be hearing about how racist it is. I would bet it all that we would be hearing about how all these white people are trying to use their privilege to get rid of a black leader who is also a black woman, the most disrespected group in American history. But guess what? I'm tired of this level of stupidity because you are not different. You are not above anybody. You are just like everybody else. The only real difference is your job. You deserve to be criticized for what you are doing. You are not exempt from criticism and you will never be exempt from criticism. Can we please stop this stupid ass game? I know it's Black History Month and I'm begging all my brothers and sisters at the cookout. Can you please stop this stupid ass fucking game where you sit there and you truly think to yourself, criticizing black people is the ultimate sin. You motherfuckers criticize LeBron when he don't hit your parlay. You can criticize a mayor doing some dumbass shit. You want to criticize Lamar because he's not in the Super Bowl and you want him to take down Patrick Mahomes because he's the ultimate half and half who is the sin amongst everybody who watches the Super Bowl. And the only reason anybody watching the Super Bowl is because they want to see SpongeBob perform a song. But you can't criticize somebody on the internet doing something stupid. You can't keep doing this shit and thinking everybody's just gonna co-sign. I'd hate to break it to you, but we need more diversity of thought because with that inspires great conversation, not just this mundane shit y'all keep talking about how no black man wants to date a black woman and how black women deserve less and how black women deserve more and how black men deserve nothing but the catacombs. We need a little bit more than this same mundane bullshit that y'all think is productive and culture. Do a little bit different this year. It's still the early stages of 2024. We could course correct this and have a little bit more in-depth conversations about things without a bunch of motherfuckers in the background screaming coon and how much we want to tap dance. I don't even know how to tap dance just because I'm that black. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. I hope you will be better, but odds are we might be right back here having the same conversation again. Goodbye.